How many times you've been faced with a decision that would change the course of your life? You know, you can feel it down deep when it happens. I'll invite you to consider today that you have that choice every single day. Because how many times have you sat there with a decision on the plate, crossroads, which way you're gonna go? One of them's scary, freaks you out, right? Because you don't know how it's gonna work out. You have no understanding of where the path goes, right? Or you can just keep doing the loop-de-loop, same place that you're at, and it seems a lot more comfortable, doesn't it? Seems like, shoot, man, I better pick that one. I don't know what's down that road. I do know what's on this one. Just seems safer. Just seems more comfortable in every way. Guess what? Keep doing that loop-de-loop for enough years, you're gonna call that a life. It's gonna be like, it's all you're gonna get, is just to see that one loop-de-loop, man. And it might be a damn fine little cul-de-sac that you keep swooping around in. But I got to invite you to consider that, man, there's like a majestic life in front of you. And the things that thrill your heart, you can actually really step into them. It's like you really can do it. I know that it seems like every other voice and every other like reality in your life is screaming the exact opposite. No, it's not actually possible. You don't understand about the mortgage and the car payment, the kids in school, and this and that and the other thing. And I've put so much time into this job, and I'm only 10 years away from retirement or whatever. What? Are you kidding me right now? 10 years away from retirement? Whatever the number is, you guys, your life is worth more. Your life is worth more. I know. You've probably built a lot into that. And it seems like you couldn't possibly, like, I don't know, give up, right? You can't give up. You can't, like, invest so much into it and then just let it all go, right? Well, I'll invite you to consider that's the only rational thing you could possibly do. How could you possibly do anything otherwise? If you're driving down the road and you realize that you're going the wrong way, driving faster, doggedly trying to get to where you're going, but going in the wrong direction, is never, ever, 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 ever going to get you to the off-ramp that you're looking for. It just is not even possible, right? So, the solution is very simple. It's that we need, the solution is very simple. We need to access a different navigation system. If we think that spinning around in circles is eventually, somehow, gonna get us where we're going, I mean, you don't have to think too deeply into that to understand that that method, even though it's the common method, even though that's the prescription that most people follow, it doesn't make it one that's advantageous for you in your life, for me in my life. So, if you find yourself driving down the wrong avenue, going a place that you don't want to go, if you're climbing a mountain and you realize, shoot, man, this is the wrong mountain. I don't even want to be on this mountain. I want to be on that mountain over there. That's where I really want to be. Now, would it make any sense at all to continue climbing this mountain? I happen to want to climb this mountain right now. I don't want to climb that mountain, and that's why I'm on this mountain. But how strange it is in our life that when we find ourselves on a mountain we don't want to be on, we just seem to think that the solution to this one, climb even harder. Heck yeah, just go even further. Get, like what? How does this make sense, you guys? And believe me, I played that game for decades of my life. I walked through that incessant wheel, the spinning wheel, you know, just running as fast as you can. You never get anywhere. Whew. So today, kick off your shoes, get out there, climb down the mountain you're on. If you're on a mountain that you don't care for much, my goodness, do yourself a favor. Start climbing a different mountain. Yes, that's going to require you regressing all your steps. Yeah, you're going to have to go and backtrack. Oh, man. Well, guess what? That's just what you got to do when you're going the wrong way. You backtrack. You know, if you just keep... No sense in doing it. No sense in doing it the other way. Why in the world would we? Today's the day. The call's been made. The invitation's been sent out. You were on the list. Are you going to answer the call? Are you going to do something different? You're going to keep grinding it down the same way just spinning donuts in your cul-de-sac of life. I'm telling you, it's a pretty wild adventure out here. It's a pretty wild adventure. Get off those side streets and get on the thoroughfare of your own life, you know? Step out onto the big screen, you know? Take center stage. Don't be playing the background role anymore. You weren't meant to be the backup, you know? You weren't meant to be the extra in your own movie. Get out there. Come on. Today is the day. If it's not going to be today, when? When would the day be? It doesn't just magically materialize. You got to go for it. Please do it. Please do it for all of our sakes. Mainly for yours, of course, but man, we all benefit from this. We're all sitting here waiting eagerly to hear what it is, the inspiration that comes from your freedom journey, your journey into that place that's like uplifting and empowering to you so that you can then encourage and inspire us. My gosh, we're waiting. There's a lot of people that are just dying on the vine. They're sitting there like, somebody please say something to help me through this time. It's tough. These times are tough, man. Help me, please. Who is there? It's you. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you and for me. Well, I've got to get off our butt and go do something, man. Not the same old thing we always did. Something new, brand new. Go for something that's so audacious, makes your head spin, makes other people just laugh, jeer, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because far better for us to be on the playing field of life, even if we take our licks, even if we get knocked down sometimes, far better than just to spend our whole life up in the grandstands, eating hot dogs and drinking Miller Lights and stuff, you know? You gotta know what the thrill is like, being on the field and going for it and getting knocked out. Part of that is failing. You gotta fail in order to have victory. Ain't nobody ever done it a different way. You're not an exception. You gotta go fail so that you can succeed at some point. But the longer you delay that journey of starting to fail, then the longer you can expect before you realize, before you see that success. So, man, every day that you delay, you're actually just like harming yourself. It's kind of like you're the victim and the assailant all in one. You're ravaging your own life by not stepping up and doing something about it. Man, when is this now going to be the right time? When is today going to be the right day? The last few years have looked much the same, then you can imagine that the coming years are going to be a lot like that unless you do something radically different, transformatively different. And when faced with the options of stepping into that new reality, shifting your whole paradigm and doing something absolutely different, or being stuck, staying the same, it's almost like not a choice at all. Unless one is bent on, I don't know, self-mutilation almost, or like slow, torturous death inflicted upon oneself of their own volition. Man alive, that can't be the way to do it, right? It's not the way to do it. Nobody listening to this would think that that's the supreme method. However, we just never really thought too deeply down those lines to the point where we realized that it's up to us to make the change, right? Just because the standard operating procedure in the world and what most people are doing, and in fact, all the good intentioned people that are probably giving you advice are probably doing the same thing. They're probably telling you, hey, listen, from my perspective, the way I see it, what you're talking about, freedom and these things, not, you know, being an indentured slave to this system that we all subscribe to, I don't think you can pull that off, man. And in fact, there's a bunch of people that tried. You can't do it. Nobody can do it. It's not even real. Just kind of like settle your horses down, bud, and you'll be all right. You know, they're going to give you a gold-plated watch when you retire. Don't you worry. It's going to be nice. You're going to love it until it gets tarnished, of course. No problem. Then, you know, the 401k is not going to be enough for you. But, hey, you know what? That's just what they do, man. That's what they offer us, and that's what we got to accept. So take it. I'm going to invite you to consider you don't got to take it. You don't got to accept. You don't got to say yes to that. You can decide something different for yourself. And there's more tools than you could possibly imagine to make that a reality for you. I mean, there's things like lifestyle arbitrage, for instance. You can go and move to a different country where the money that you can make in your native currency it has far more buying power, right? That's what it is. Lifestyle arbitrage, or it's monetary arbitrage that equates to your own lifestyle being far, far, far superior than it was before in so many different ways. Not just the ability to buy fancier food or whatever, live in a fancier place, but time. Time is the true gift here. Time is the true reward for all of this. Time. Because when you have the flexibility that you can create for yourself in a situation where you're earning in, say, for instance, US dollars, and you're spending in Mexican pesos, for instance, then your life becomes really, really, there's a lot of opportunities that open up to you in this type of circumstance that you would never even realize are even accessible in life unless you were to make a move like this. And so there's other ways to do it. This just happens to be the fastest, quickest, easiest, cheapest, most tangible way to do it that the world could possibly know about. Anybody coming from Europe or the US or Canada, anyways, probably Australia as well, and some other places perhaps. But in any case, the type of situation that we have right now is such that with a bit of ingenuity and the skills that you already have developed through life, you can really do almost astounding things all by yourself with all these the technology and tools that we have available to us these days. And so really, at the end of the day, the excuse to stay stuck, or the reason to stay stuck, is solely self-generated, and it's just I'll just put it like this: lack of courage. It's timidity. It's that we just don't believe that we are either worth it or capable or something like this. However, we see all around us that there's people all day long that are doing outstanding things, amazing things, extraordinary things, and we're sitting on the sidelines. You and me both, in many ways, still to this day. Freedom is a graduated course, right? Yeah, it's a joy to be on the journey too. So, walk down your own mountain today. Really, I know it's a tough one to swallow. It's a tough thing to swallow, to know that maybe, perhaps, I screwed up. And not just for a day or two, and not just one time. No, I screwed up for a long time, years and years and decades of my life. I had to face that reality at one point, and when I finally came to grips with it, I realized, man, I got to make a change, and it's got to be now, and I can't rely on anybody else, and I can't hope that it's like a new job that's going to make it right or anything else. It's got to be up to me, and I got to make tough decisions and really, really strong, committed decisions too, and decisions that are so radical and so improbable and so impractical and so unrealistic that it makes people just like almost faint thinking that somebody would do such a thing. And yet, when they walk away, what they actually think is, man, I wish I could do what that fella's doing. And that's you. Right now, today, you get the opportunity to step into a life like that. The type of life that you've really always wanted to live, that you've absolutely been born for. And the life that we've all been subjected to this kind of conditioning, this treatment, where we think that it's either going to come someday, right? So we rely on the someday, or some other outside circumstance, and we've never really identified that for that change, that paradigm to shift, for all things to start functioning in a different way. It's up to us and nobody else, and only us. And in order to get there, if we want to try the side hustle way and do it like, figure out when the time is right and all that stuff, it's going to be slow. It's going to be agonizing, and it's very likely never going to come, because those types of endeavors have no passion associated with them, no inspiration. And without inspiration, the plan dies. You get a little ways and you get hit a challenge, and then you're not inspired to continue. Where's the motivation going to come from? You've got to have that come from a well within you. And that only comes when you're out there doing the thing that you're just like, you're born for. You're on the edge and you're just going for it. And you know that there is no turning back. And inherently, when we take upon such an endeavor and we take all the other options off the table and we go after that one just devoted, committed decision, then there is literally no other option than that decision, that thing takes place. Whether it's this week or next month or 2 years from now, that's what's going to happen. But the more committed we are to it, and the less we focus on any type of plan B backup option, the more close we are aligned to our own, like our thrive, our passion, the reason that we're here, that thing that burns in your heart, that like it kind of has been whispering to you all your life. And maybe on occasion, you've actually listened to it and gone after it and full throttled it in that direction. But most often, it's like the other voices distract and drown out that true deep passion in your heart. Well, now's the time where we get to rekindle that, get back into it, light that ember back up, fire it up so that you can fire up the world, fire up yourself so that you can then just be a light for other people. They can find themselves too. It's kind of like giving permission to other people so that they can look within and find who they really are and what they really want to do and go, man, I too have been trapped. And I would have been trapped and continue to be trapped unless I saw this fella, this lady, this person over here that's taking radical, courageous action. I want to be courageous. What can I do? Their trip and their journey and everything they're doing looks a lot different than what I want to do. But guess what? I can identify with what I can readily just like call my own is courage. I can see courage in them and I know it lives within me. And I'm going to go after it today and I'm going to do something that matters. So that we don't live in quiet desperation all our lives, wondering why things don't quite add up in our soul, in our heart, and why we like kind of, there's just this gnawing angst somewhere underneath all of it, right? Inside of that spinning, never-ending, grinding existence. That is the one that we've been set up to live, and that most people just abide by their whole life, myself included, for decades. So guys, the great story is I found a way out. I found freedom. You can find freedom. In fact, I got a lot of really, really amazing things. I've been on this journey for 9 years, you guys. 9 years I've been learning this stuff. And yeah, it's been tough sometimes, no doubt, man. I'm not saying this is all peaches and roses, and there's no doubt. But at least you get to pick your version. You're going to have difficulties and challenges come into your life no matter what you do. But at least if you choose your life, then you can be proud of those challenges that you go through because you know that you're on your way to where you want to be. Instead of just, you're going to encounter the challenge anyways, where you're at right now. But then you're going to be still unfulfilled and bummed out and just consternated by what you're going through. And you're going to have to deal with the challenge. Might as well be thrilled with what you're up to. And when you encounter the challenges, you know that wellspring within you that has like that inspiration quotient for you, that you can access it. You can actually access it. Whereas, if you're doing the same old, you can't access that stuff. How are you going to get to it? I couldn't possibly speak these words to you if I was still going to, well, not only just because I wouldn't have the time, I'd be at a job, but I wouldn't be able to speak these words to you because I wouldn't be inspired enough to talk to you about it, right? I too would be the guy that'd be like, oh, thank God it's Friday. I hate my effing job and man, I don't know what's going on. Let me slam a whole bunch of beer so I can just like zone out, right? That's kind of the common way to do things. If not that, it's the pills or, binge watching this or that or whatever it is, man. It doesn't matter. But is that the purpose of your life? Is that what you're here for? I don't know. I can't answer that for you. You answer that. And if where you're living right now is, I don't know, you can't quite answer that to yourself. You certainly don't need to answer me, nothing. But if you can't answer that to yourself with full conviction that you're on your path to the greatest you, the highest version of yourself that you can be in your life, and if you can't answer that with full heart and full conviction, then time's to change. When's the time to change? Now's the time to change. Always now. Always now. When's the best time to do something? Probably years ago, whenever that might be. As they say, best time to plant an acorn or plant an oak tree, whatever, is 20 years ago, 100 years ago, whatever that is. When's the second best time? Right now, today, this moment. And there's your opportunity. And there's your invitation. And you're either going to keep scrolling or you're going to take the opportunity. I highly recommend that option.